is a review of the Melnor XT MiniMax Turbo Oscillating Sprinkler. Now, that's kind of a mouthful, but that's partially because this is a really unusual sprinkler. So I'm going to go over the features, the pros, the cons, to help you make a decision whether this is the right sprinkler for you. When the sprinkler arrives in the box, it comes in two pieces, and you can get it two different ways. One with a plastic sled base, or you can also get it with a metal spike base that you would simply step on to get it into the ground. So we've got it with the plastic sled. And to put it together, it's really simple. You would just put that in there and spin it until it's in place. Before I put this onto the base, let me show you something. There's this little thing sticking out here, and first I thought, oh, that's like a little gasket or something, and I was worried it was going to fall out, so I pulled it out, and it is something you don't want to lose. It's a strainer or sieve. So normally what you would find is that you'd find that here where you attach the hose to the base of the sprinkler, but in this case they've inserted it into the base of the head. So make sure it's firmly in place. That's there to prevent any sand or grit or dirt or whatever from coming and clogging up the nozzles on the sprinkler. So to put it together, I'm just going to spin this onto the threads here. Now all of these parts are plastic, so be careful doing this. You don't want to strip those threads, and you just tighten it up. Okay. Now, one of the things I really like about this, and what makes it so unusual, is how adjustable it is. Now, normally with a sprinkler you can adjust the width and you can adjust the length, how far it goes to each side. With this one, you can do that. You can also adjust the direction so that it's going in any direction you want. And this head adjusts as well. So let me show you some of the really neat features of this sprinkler. First, we have the flow control. So you can go anywhere from low to high flow and anywhere in between, doesn't matter where you put it. It's nice to have that. What is missing is an on-off. So even at the low setting, there's still water coming through, which means that if you're wanting to adjust this, you're either going to get wet or you have to go to the spigot, turn it off, adjust it, and then turn the spigot back on again. At the top here, you can see you can adjust the width. You can adjust the right and the left separately. There's a little indicator here showing this would be wide, this would be narrow. So you can adjust the left side to narrow or wide, and same here, you can adjust from wide to narrow on the right side. And they adjust independently. The other adjustment you can make is here. These are for the length, and you can adjust it all the way from it's not going to go past vertical, all the way as wide as possible. And you can do that on both sides. So down on both sides, it's as wide as possible. If you put it all the way up, this thing isn't going to move very far. It's going to stay mostly vertical, and you can make it also be narrow and vertical, which is really interesting because it goes basically straight up, and that's it. A couple of other things here. One, you'll see here's the connector where it attaches to the hose. Normally you'd see a strainer or sieve in there. Again, it's in the base of the sprinkler itself, so that's why it's not there. There is a washer here, which you can replace. Now it's plastic, it's a little bit flimsy, and the one thing I don't like is it's really hard to grasp it and attach the hose to it. I have arthritis in my hands. It makes it even more difficult. So that's kind of a negative in my opinion. This is set up so that you can daisy chain this. You can attach multiple sprinklers all in a row. So the hose would go in one side, another hose would come out the other side and attach to another sprinkler. So you could have up to 2, 3, maybe 4 of them in a row, depending on how high your water pressure is. This sprinkler, like any oscillating sprinkler, obviously creates a rectangular shape. So it's going to be good for lawns or yards that are a rectangular shape. It's also supposed to be able to cover up to 3,900 square feet. Now that would be probably at a normal water pressure in the 50 to 60 psi range. Here we're on well water, we're at 30 psi, and we were able to cover about 3,000 square feet with this, about 60 by 50 feet, which is pretty good. After 15 minutes, we had about a 1/16 of an inch at most, at 5, 10, 15, and 25 feet away from the sprinkler. So, like other oscillating sprinklers, a lot of water gets lost to wind that blows it away, or evaporation. So although it might be putting out a lot of water, that doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of water is going to be hitting the ground. So one thing you can do is run it for longer. You can also run it at less than full volume so that the water isn't shooting up as high into the air and you're not going to lose as much to wind or evaporation. It's worth noting that this does not have a nozzle cleaner. Some sprinklers come with something that's like a little needle that you can use to clean out the nozzles should they start to get clogged up. This one doesn't, but what it does have is sort of silicone-like nozzles that if you just rub them like that, they bend, and if there is anything in there, that should come out pretty easily. So that's kind of a neat feature. Overall, this is one of the better oscillating sprinklers that we've tested. It's highly adjustable, going from very narrow to as wide as most others. You can spin it. You don't have to struggle with the hose just to be able to turn this in whatever direction you want. Being able to daisy chain it is a really nice addition. And I like the fact that you can have this either with this sled base or with a spike. So whichever option works better for you. So I hope you found this review helpful. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. There's a subscribe button right down there below. We have a ton of other videos on sprinklers as well. You can also find a detailed review of this, written review, on our website at gardeningproductsreview.com. Bye for now. So to put it together, I'm just going to spin this. Let's try that again.